August last year. So about exactly 1 year ago.
Mm-hmm.
You were level 227.
Yeah.
So email and everything. I see some legendary items. Well, we can actually look at what you had real quick, and we can kind of like compare it.
Yeah,
That'd be
that would be
interesting.
nice.
So a year ago, you had... Okay, so I think you were moving into getting the Mezzo and Drop set completed.
Yeah, that's right.
That's what it looks like. And then you were running into some 18%, which obviously makes you not want to go legendary. Yeah, that happened a few times by the looks of it. And then 21 on the aquatic, always cool. And then, yeah, going towards 17 star on most stuff. And prepping stuff for Abzo.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, you already had the weapon. Yeah, the fake weapon, yeah. So you were prepping for the other pieces to complete the set bonuses first, and then seeing how hard. And you were getting some backups.
Yep.
Working on the boost nodes. We probably figured all that out.
Oh yeah, they were kind of fucked up back then, but I fixed it.
You fixed it, okay. And then Legion was already pretty big. It was already almost 6k.
Yeah. So there's only been about a K more.
And then I gave you the best advice of your life, of course.
To use the Legion solver.
And then...
Which mean that... Oh yeah, the pike lock thing. That was the absolute best bit of...
The what?
The whole session. The pike lock and metaphor that gave me about moving to Twitchly.
For CVAL? For the...
Yeah, or for bussing in general.
Yeah.
That was good advice, I gotta say.
Well, if it works, right? I think some people hear that and are like, what the fuck is he talking about?
Yeah, exactly. At least it makes a mark in your memory.
Yeah, well, now that you said it, I immediately remember the whole session again, yeah. I remember telling it, and you were like, oh, that makes sense. You're like the first person to be like, oh, that makes more sense than just explaining the boss. So,
yeah,
I mean, it was pretty good. Okay, so now we are here 1 year and maybe 1 day later, but like around 1 year later, and now we are 255.
Yep.
And looks like we have a killer inner ability.
Yeah, pretty nice.
That I don't think you ever want to do anything about ever again.
Yeah, well, maybe the drop rate was something, crit rate or something, but that's a big maybe.
Yeah, huge maybe, yeah. Very big risk, so... Forever 33... This is like fully buffed with self buffs?
No, it's just Maple Warrior.
Okay, just Maple Warrior, yeah, okay. Well, most of the other stuff. I guess, and maybe like decent sharp eyes or something?
No. Nothing else. I mean, I only have Booster and Maple Warrior now.
Oh, the event buff probably makes the critical damage and the ID red and the damage bonus, yeah.
Yeah, that must be it.
Must be where it's coming from. Okay. So what are you, what kind of content are you doing now, and what can I do for you today?
Well, basically, I just like to go over the gear overall, and maybe have some questions about which items to concentrate on.
Yeah.
At the moment, I'm clearing up to low, medium, solo, and I'm doing normal Lucid, and actually just got a hard Lucid parties just to start running that.
Okay.
But with Will, I don't have any parties yet.
Okay. And is the same party you're doing hard Lucid with, are they at all interested in doing normal will practice and then hard will, or do they already have a party for that, or?
I believe they will be. We had a bit of we changed up the party composition by a bit. So it's the same party that I was running normal Lucid with earlier. Right. But we got one more DP, or we swapped out one DPS to somebody that has much more stats.
So now you're getting hard carried.
Not necessarily hard carried, but gives us enough to be able to clear. Yeah.
And have you done any normal will at all already? Any practice or none whatsoever?
Well, I basically just went in practice mode, but not an actual actual practice run.
Right, so you like never phase 2 and phase 3 basically.
No.
So hop around in phase 1 a bit. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, just to see what it does.
Yeah, the thing is that once you get stronger and stronger with your party and you feel like you can really, really comfortably kill Hard Lucid with the party, I'm guessing most people in the party would be like, well, we want to kill Hard Will now too, because, you know, then we can double our chances for drops, right? In general, I would say, like, advise the party just start with normal will first and just to get used to the mechanics and get used to how... Yeah, because Moonlight is it's hard to get used to when to use your Moonlight and the mechanics and everything going on and not dying to everything in hard. Whereas if you start normal, you can introduce yourself to like a gimped version of all those mechanics, and then once you get the hang of it, then you can go to the harder mode, and then it won't be so bad.
Yeah, it makes sense.
So it might even be the case that you just do like a few like practice mode runs. You don't even try like the real normal will runs. You just try the practice mode like a few times on a few days, and then when you feel up for it, you just try hard real mode like immediately, because they do share clears, right? So if you clear normal, then you can't clear hard anymore. And if everyone is like really strong and you're already 255, so you're already doing like the full bonus damage to hard will, or to will in general, because he's level 250, and then the arcane power. I don't know if everyone in the party has enough arcane power to do the bonus as well.
Not too sure actually. I have to check.
It's 1140 to do full arcane damage.
I honestly can't remember those guys' arcane powers, but I have that at least.
Yeah, that's just something to keep in mind. If everyone is at over level 245 and their arcane powers are like over 1,000, then you should be more than able to do normal. But then, you know, if you want to make the jump to hard, like making sure that most people are like around 250 or a little bit above, and then make sure that most people have that 1140 for the bonus damage. That's the important part.
Yeah.
Yeah, other than that, it's just practice. I've got some videos on my channel where I go through the mechanics a little bit, and there's runs in all my VODs, of course, that you can check if there's problems. The main thing is going to be getting used to phase 2, the tests. That'll probably go wrong a few times. The main advice is to not look at other people for the second phase. Just walk for yourself and look for the legs and get hit. Yeah, if you look at the other people, you'll, especially if you, well, you guys are all in EU, right? Probably. Or is it not a guild party? Yeah. So your ping shouldn't be as different, but you know, everyone looks like they're moving at different times on your screen, but you're probably moving at the same time. To other people, you're moving late, and to you, other people are moving late. So if you look too much at other people in the test, it's offset by enough that you'll just end up dying and throwing. And with the way that will works, you lose 2 minutes every time a test fails. So that's a little bit rough, because then it's 2 more minutes that you have to try to survive on a new boss fight. It's a good test in the beginning, because if you can, you know, if you could make it through the tests and you can survive through other people dying out, that means that you're definitely ready for the real deal.
Yeah.
But yeah, it'll be cool to practice. But I think, yeah, if you guys are able to do hard Lucid without too much trouble, you can definitely do normal will, and you can probably already take a big chunk out of hard will as well.
Yeah. Yeah, that will be something we have to go over. By the way, while at the topic of ping, do you have any idea if VPNs make ping any better, or do they make it worse? I have some kind of recollection from a Reddit thread or something that people are using VPNs to drop their ping.
So with VPNs and everything, so technically the VPNs are against terms of service, so I can't really like endorse or put any information on that. Typically VPNs and stuff are used, yeah, they're typically used to like bypass region restrictions, and bypassing region restrictions is against TOS, and therefore like VPNs aren't really seen as like lawful products to use within. Technically you can get banned if you use VPN, yeah. And the other risk is kind of as well is that if people hack and they use a VPN and you end up on like the same IP that the VPN has, then you can get banned as well. So it's also kind of risky. What some people do use is tunneling services, which optimize your IP, and those are, I think, technically not against the TOS, but also I've like reached out to Nexon and I'm not really allowed to directly endorse them, though I think I'm allowed to use them, but not. Yeah, I don't know. It's kind of like tricky. They don't want, even though they're like whitelisted by pretty much every game, and no one has ever gotten banned using the services ever, because it's not a VPN, right? That's so significantly different. It just optimizes your IP. And I've heard from people using that it helps them quite a bit with lowering the ping.
Okay, well,
But
that's good to know.
yeah, I can't. I'm still trying to see if I can, because I've got a message and I got an offer from like a tunneling service from ExitLike to see if they can have like a promo code for me. But
cool.
yeah, I talked to Nexon and talked to the Beam Brigade and everything, but like, apparently, yeah, I don't know. It's all kind of problematic. They don't really want to say yes, so which means it's basically a no, I guess.
So you mean Nexon doesn't want to say yes to tunneling services?
Well, it doesn't want to say yes to like me promoting it and using it, because then it'll seem that Nexon is promoting it and they don't want to promote it directly, because I think they just want to make sure that they stay safe, that if anything happens that they're not liable. But
Right. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Or that they give another company like free bonus or something without having like an official deal with. I don't know what the exact thing is, but haven't gotten the official yes there. But when I do, I make sure to see it everywhere, because and I'll probably be trying it myself as well, just because any kind of experience you can get that's a little bit closer to the actual game would be cool, right?
Yeah, exactly. Would be nice to move without a freeze delay.
Yeah, because you're probably like high, like low 200s in ping as well.
Yeah, 200 about.
Yeah. Beautiful.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, that's just our reality. That's what we're dealing with.
Yeah.
So I guess we can go over the what was that picture? We can go over the other stuff, like the side stuff, pretty quickly, I guess, and then spend most of our time on the equips, right?
Yep, that was the idea, pretty much.
Go look at that. Look at your beautiful familiars. So you got a bunch of uniques. Did you get everything you wanted to get, or are you still chasing anything here?
Well, not really. Maybe a bigger auto steal one. But not quite sure about farming. If I have a large drop, I honestly don't need meso drop for anything. What would you add? Like, well, maybe a large amount for item and meso would be something that I'm looking for, but...
Yeah, so, do you know how the percentages work and how the stacking works and everything?
About what?
With, like, drop and meso and what percentages you're looking for and...
Well, please elaborate.
So in general, and for the people at home as well, like, if you have buffs and they show up on the top right when you summon the familiar as your buffs here, that means that they don't stack with other similar sources, but if they show up. But if they don't show up, then they typically do stack. So like boss damage and IED and stuff, that doesn't show up as a buff, so you can just stack that up to a certain point, right? Up to, was it like 120% or some shit? But when it comes to drop rate and meso drop rate and that kind of stuff, that shows up as a drop that is refreshing on the top right, so those don't stack with each other. So that means that if you have multiple sources of drop rate in familiars, that only the biggest source will be active. Same thing with meso obtain. If you have multiple sources of meso obtain, of meso drop rate, then only the biggest source will be active at the same time.
Yeah, that I got.
Yeah, so when it comes to the percentages, so your base drop rate for a bag is, well, you need 67% drop rate. I forgot what the exact.
Yeah, exactly.
67% item drop rate, or like just drop rate in general, to be able to always have a bag drop. But the item drop rate on familiars does not include meso drop rate. So those are separate for familiars.
Yep. I'm getting 100% bags every time, so that's pretty much the reason why I was asking about.
Yeah, so then large item drop rate is 100%. Like 100% drop rate. What you said, like a large amount of item and meso drop rate, that's 60% of each. So if you already have 100% for bags and you would get that, then that would be a downgrade from using the large amount of item drop rate.
But so are you saying that they don't stack? If I have item drop rate large, then I have item and meso, don't those two stack? Because they both show up in your window.
Yeah, so for the item drop rate large will show up because that is the biggest source of item drop rate, because it's 100% and the other one is only 60. And then the other buff will show up because that is the only source of meso drop rate. So at that point you will have 100% item drop rate and 60% meso drop rate active. But since you already have 100% for bags, the second familiar actually doesn't do anything. So what you can stack there would be item acquisition rate, that stacks because it's like a different type of buff, or auto steal, or whatever you have with a lot of defense. so that you can have
well,
the.
that pretty much settles it then.
Yeah, exactly. The other thing, because you didn't really say that you were looking for anything anymore. The other thing that that I would continue looking for is more like boss damage familiars. I don't know if you have more than just this one.
For sure, I was pretty much talking about farming there, but for boss thing, I'm always looking for more boss damage and more IED. I mean, I have the 15% IED lines there, but yeah, an upgrade would be nice.
How's your IED feeling without those? Otherwise, though, aren't they? Oh, that's the wrong. Let's close that album.
I'm
IED should be pretty
91%
high, right?
Yeah, I am pretty high. I have a lot of invisible sources. Again, I haven't calculated the functional IED in quite a while, but I feel fine.
And that's with the Neo Core, the Neo Force, the event buff on?
Yeah, that's right.
Okay, and that is with the Abzo set bonus to 20%. The 10%, I mean. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, because it's, well, if it's 91 visual, and that's with
yeah, it's with the Neo Force.
It's with the Neo Force, but that's without the familiar on in that picture.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, because you do eventually, I believe as an Adele, you should be able to go full damage and still have enough IED going. Oh wait, do you have the Superior Golic set? You have that one?
No, my Superior Ring boomed, so I'm missing that.
I see.
Pretty much balances it out.
Yeah. Yeah, because once you finish the Legion board, and that one is like a 40 chunk, right?
Yeah.
And then once you have the Golic set, then you should be able to just go full boss damage on familiars. Maybe replace one with a healing or something, right? Depending on what boss it is. Maybe two if the party is struggling. But then you shouldn't have to rely on the ID from the familiars at all anymore.
Yeah.
How did you? Do you want to elaborate on how you boomed the Superior Ring, or do you want to keep?
I do. It was right after the patch where they changed the star forcing stuff, and
where it was so fast, you mean? Where it was so fast?
It was so fast, and I just basically lost my focus for a bit.
Yeah.
I was going from 13 to 12 stars to 13 and safeguarding, and
all it takes is one miss.
Game is
GG.
Yeah, game is fucking stupid, and it takes off the safeguard, and I didn't notice, and obviously on that one attempt it wanted to go boom.
What is it, 0.7% or something?
Yeah, something like that.
Beautiful.
Yeah, should have put up a lottery ticket that day, I think.
Rip. And do you have any backup wise? Do you have like Kana treasure rings backup?
I think I have one.
Yeah, so that's not amazing.
Or not? No, I'm lying actually. I don't even have that
screenshots.
one.
You don't have one. Are you doing Princess No weekly for backups?
Yeah, I am.
And how's your total?
I also boomed the Kana ring. On the same day a couple times.
That doesn't help, yeah.
Yeah.
And how's the yeah, I guess you're aiming for a high number to transfer high now anyway, right?
Yeah, for sure.
Well, you're gonna need to buy a new Superior, obviously, to transfer over, but and then as soon as you buy one, then but how's Golic's otherwise? Like, you have enough coins and stuff? Let's see, where's it?
Well, I have like 500 coins at the moment. I'm gonna have to run for a couple of more days, but
yeah, not too far away.
Yeah.
It's not too big of a problem. Okay. Well, yeah. Well, let's go back from the bottom. So that's the ID pretty much figured out, because you'll have like the Explorer Mage is like functional, right? Your debuff functional, your stacks functional, and then your boost nodes functional, all covering it.
Yeah.
And then any other kind of boss effects and party effects and all that stuff. So should be fine with those sources of ID extra.
Yeah.
So, any other questions for familiars? That's good?
No, not really. I think I'm fine there.
Okay, cool. With Legion getting very close to that 7K.
Yeah.
So it's nice. 8K dream for filling the board eventually.
Yeah, for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Since I'm, since there's a sunk cost fallacy in this thing, if I'm this far ahead, I might just as well go for the 8K.
Yep. Yeah, I mean, yeah, it does get really nice. I mean, the main thing you're doing, of course, is like making all of the 140s who are already on the grid into 200s.
Yeah.
And then at 8, you get to put 5 more characters on, so those will be all 200s as well. So that's 20 covered more. Mm-hmm. And then, now how many are there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. 11 now, we'll get one more as well, so that's 31 more covered, right? So that's almost, yeah, it's like 3/4 of an outside grid completely filled.
Yeah.
So it's critical full, IED full, boss damage full, and a little bit more into crit rate probably, so that when the Neo Force disappears, you don't have to go like super overboard on link skills or anything, so that'd be pretty nice.
I'm also running the fake Arcane weapon, so there's gonna be a bit of a drop in crit rate from there as well. So yeah.
Once you switch that. Mm-hmm. But any questions regarding Legion and what to do there, or you feel good for that? I mean, it seems like you know what you're doing.
Yeah, the board is just scuffed because I didn't want to pay any attention to it. It's gonna be 7K soon anyway. So.
Yeah, this is unacceptable, dude. The one opening there in the middle. Don't worry, they will like level and then they will fill out automatically. It's fine. Yeah.
But yeah, I think I'm pretty much set on Legion. I think I know pretty much what I'm doing there.
Cool. And I guess the link skill wise, that's the bossing setup.
Yes, this is the bossing setup. I mean, yeah. Doesn't really change much.
Yeah, not much to say. Yeah, just upgrades from
4 different skills, but
yeah, exactly. Just upgrades from 2 to 3. That's about it.
Yeah, and well, actually, I got both my demons up to 210 today, so those are
big buffs.
That has to change.
Yep. Yeah, and I guess maybe if you go low enough on crit, then you might need to switch the Phantom in for either for the Focus Spirit if you just need 10 extra, or for like an Elementalism or something if you need the 20 extra, right?
Yeah. Another thing I was supposed to ask is, what do you think about the Angelic Burster skill?
Yes.
Is it worth?
Yeah, because you are pretty burst heavy, right? Are you filling out all of your skill nodes are starting to get leveled up? Some of those are maxed. Yeah, once you start feeling your once you start leveling up like the Goddess Blessing and the Conversion Overdrive, and you start like hard bursting with those, that is when the burst starts getting really sick. Well, you already have maxed Infinity Blade, so the burst is already significant. I would say that the for the bosses you're doing at this point, I would throw in the Angelic Buster, and probably in place of like one of the temporary damage ones, right? Either Thief's Cunning or Time to Prepare. Those are pretty similar. So one of those two probably have to move over.
Right, I see. Would be probably the Kane one in that case. I think isn't the Thief's Cunning a bit better? It has had a better uptime in my opinion.
Yeah, because it can extend a little bit, and since it activates twice as much, you have twice the chance of it activating a little bit longer. So it probably has better uptime, so probably the Kane skill.
Yeah. Actually, I have to fucking level the Angelic Burster first. I'm under 140 then. Or 120.
Even level 2 is already pretty good, right? Was it 40% damage at level 2?
Yeah. Let me see that.
And it goes up to 60, I think.
Let's see that then here. Where is it? There it is. So level 1 is 30%, level 2 is 45%. Doesn't it actually go to level 3? It doesn't show in the skill description. Oh, beautiful. Yeah, it does. Master level 3,
Angelic Buster. Oh yeah, 30, 45, 60, yeah. I thought it was 20, 40, 60 for some reason, but it starts a little bit higher. I think it gives double 2 angelic busters themselves or something. So that's on it. That's pretty good.
OP.
Yep.
Because angelic burster is such an OP class.
Yeah, they already burst quite well.
Yeah.
Okay. And then yeah, when it comes to mobbing, I mean, you throw in all the experience and the flat damage ones, I guess, and get rid of the boss and IED, and it'll. I'm pretty sure you know how that all works, so you don't need to go into that too much.
I think I got it.
Yep. So I guess Matrix-wise, like the Goddess Blessing is priority now?
Yeah, at the moment, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And, well, yeah, actually that and whatever happens to find its way to the board otherwise, but...
Yeah, I mean, you're not using decent combat orders right now?
I am. This is I was farming, so I would swap out the holy symbol for isn't combat orders.
If you're farming?
Bossing. No, when bossing.
When bossing? Oh, yeah, okay. Yeah, and you keep an impenetrable skin for when you need the knockback resistance.
Yeah, and for a bit of extra damage.
Extra burst, yeah. Because plummet is knockdown resistance as well, right?
Yeah, that's right. Or at least when the animation's going on.
Yeah, it's a small window.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like I've gotten knocked out of it before. I've even gotten knocked out of the pirate flag before while I was placing it. And just like knocked out of it, even though you're supposed to be knockdown resistant. So
yeah, there's probably some short window where you can get hit and still hit. Or
just ping delay stuff.
Yeah, because that happens all the time.
Yup. I guess then, yeah, Weapon Aura also has some of the IED and the final damage that's gonna add to bossing later as well, but yeah, eventually they'll all get maxed. Yeah, once you start doing hard will, you'll level up the reflection more. Did you buy out like stuff from the shop already? Do you have any questions on that?
Yeah, I actually do. That was something that I wanted to pick your brain about. Pretty much the question would be basically, I was thinking about just taking the 17 star scroll to the superior ring, just to go a bit easier there. Do you think it's an okay idea?
For now, probably, because I don't see anything else you'd use it on, right? And then you can just save up kind of treasure rings in your own time until the next 5, 10, 15, and then try again, something like that.
Yeah.
And then transfer over later. Yeah.
Well, yeah. About using the Neo coins, what would you do? I mean, I was thinking about buying symbols, but symbols are at the moment my pick number one. Because buying node stones or buying medal of honors really doesn't seem to do anything for my main.
Yeah, you don't need any rings anymore, right? You're good on those.
No.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, you'll to even out Morass and Asphera and get those a little bit closer to max. Yeah, my Adele is kind of at the same point as yours now. Well, I think I got like 1 level more on all of them, so like those last levels just take forever on Morass and Asphera. So anything you could do to speed those up. If I remember correctly, I think it was 22,500 stones if you want to buy out all of the symbols for just Morass and Asphera. Like all of the boxes with random and all of the dedicated Morass and Asphera ones. So I don't know how many stones you have right now.
Yeah, that would be pretty much it.
Yeah.
Is anything else worth it, in your opinion? Because honestly, I haven't even looked at the shops that well.
When it comes to stones, like the priority list, I would say for most people is like nodes first, but I think you're probably past the point of the value. You can still like level up your main skill, so it depends on your income and how many nodes you have lying around. Like nodes would still be okay value, I think. And then usually event rings I would put second, which, if you don't need them at all, you just skip that. And then it's probably symbols, and then like the actual like eternal flames, because otherwise those are pretty difficult to get, and like for stones they're not that expensive, so they're like decent. And then other than that, just anything that you want to get basically.
Yeah, for sure.
do you have so much reindeer milk and sunset dews in your inventory? I thought I was a hoarder.
They just drop. Haven't just sold them.
I see.
Usually I do.
It's actually a decent amount of money, those potions. Save them up.
Yeah. Yeah, they make a decent chunk.
Kind of the hidden gains, like selling all your spell traces and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I would do with the event shop. And did you buy out all the droplets with the cores?
Not quite yet. I'm gonna actually be missing about 10 of the blue droplets. I bought out the green ones with the Neo Force.
Mm-hmm.
But the blues I'm still working on.
Okay.
And meso shops are not bought at all, so that's gonna be 50 plus for both.
Yeah, you sure you want to buy those already?
Up. Sorry, what did you say?
Are you sure you want to buy those right now? Because like the argument could be, so the thing right now is that like in KMS they're changing the set bonus, right? So that you can switch one item at a time. But the main thing now will be to make your actual weapon, right? Your full weapon. Or you start making all the pieces, switch all of them over at once, get the full set, and then hope for either a weapon drop before then, or do the weapon switch. But I think at this point, what you would benefit most from probably would still be to make the actual weapon, get the extra Star Force in, be able to go a little bit harder on the flame, way better potential, right? That'll give you a big, huge damage increase. And, you know, maybe a better soul, whatever. And then that will allow you to do like way more damage on the hard bosses, and then you basically just sit like that and wait until you either get drops or you get enough droplets. And then, you know, by winter or after that, if you slowly get the pieces and you get all of the 17-star pieces, then you switch them all in one go, right? Unless you have all of them, it's not really worth switching because you lose the set bonus and your Abzo is already pretty well upgraded, right? So you'll have to over counter that, right?
Yep.
And because this winter, the winter event for KMS has 900 droplets in it. So you're basically guaranteed to be able to buy all of them there. So my argument is kind of like if you buy them now, then you have, 10 bill in droplets just sitting in your inventory, just waiting until winter anyway.
Yeah, the last sentence there, 900 droplets pretty much made that.
Yeah, that's like two characters full sets. Or like, yeah, if you already have like one or two pieces, then it's two characters can get a full 17-star set. And then after that, what KMS is doing is they're going to make the droplets like permanently purchasable. So you can buy them at any time. We don't know the price yet, but it's probably going to be the same price, I think.
Yeah, well, that actually kind of makes sense because I've been thinking about people who had to go fucking grinding for droplets in 2 hours or 1 hour and trying to buy a full set of Arcane, like, damn.
Yeah, and now they're basically kind of pushing people to go to the higher level areas, and then droplets don't even drop there anymore, right?
Right, yeah.
And if you don't have all your pieces yet, then you're just, well, yeah, you just kind of hoping for boss drops, and then that's it. It's like,
Yeah. Well, yeah, makes sense.
Yeah, so I would hold off on the Mezzo ones, but I'd try to buy as many of the core ones as possible, yeah.
Sure, yeah.
Okay, any other shop questions?
Not really.
Okay, cool. I'll open all of these in new. So equip-wise, so the weapon is like a big one, right? Getting the actual weapon. Are you close with the Lucid drops?
Not at all.
Okay.
Not at all.
Well, hopefully soon. If you're doing hard, it should be getting 2 to 3 per week once you start clearing that. So it shouldn't be too long.
And always you can keep your fingers crossed for a lucky drop.
Yes, of course. That's why you want to get into hard will ASAP, so so you can double up. Yeah.
But yeah, the weapon is pretty much the first step once I get there. But I was really much wondering, what do you think about should I even go for 21-star Abso at all, or just go straight for Arcane, or what do you think would be the best route?
So if your team right now can do Hard Lucid, and that's like fine, and you don't have any trouble killing in the maps where you're training, then there's absolutely, I think, no value in going 21 Epso. You just save that money and spend it all towards going 17 or 18 Arcane or something, whatever you want to do there. Like, let's say that you could have enough money, you have enough droplets, you can get everything 17, and you even have maybe droplets for some backups, or you have a backup in your inventory. You could try to like get everything to 18. 17 to 18 is a very low chance to boom. So you might even like be very cheeky and try to go for a 19 or something. And then make the whole switch. So that's going to be a huge expenditure, especially if you're going to purchase a lot of the droplets. Buying the droplets, making the items, star forcing everything, cubing everything again, flaming everything again. That's going to be a lot of money. So I don't think it's worth going any further than what the Abso you have. As long as you can train properly and you can do all the bosses you want with your party, then I don't think there's a need to spend any money there.
Yeah, I see.
Because that's getting replaced. Where you can spend the money if you want to would be in stuff like the CRA to push everything to 21, to try to get the top to 21, and maybe start working on a CRA hat on the side. Again, pretty low priority, right, for when you have the full set. And the other stuff will just be to make sure that you have a lot of backups, that you build on backups for all the stuff that needs backups. So like doing Gollux a lot for those backups if you want to do like the 20 to 21 jump after transfer hammering, for all of the other items, you know, for the belt, to keep the extra pink bean belts. Once you want to, you know, go all the way for the earrings, keep the reinforced earrings to Star Force once you want to go all the way. And the best part about these is that you can wait for a 5, 10, 15 and then just send on these items. And if it doesn't work, it doesn't work, but you don't lose anything, right? If it does work, then you can transfer hammer. You'll probably barely lose something because you're going from 17 all the way to 20 or to 21 stars. So you'll lose the potential, but then all you have to do is get like an okay potential back and you'll be right back where you were, with the potential of a huge increase once the potential tiers are what you want it to be. And for the pendant, it's dominators, but all of these are kind of time gated, right? The belt the least, right? Like CRA the least, then the belt the least. You can get those backups easily, and then, you know, reinforced earrings, that's time gated. You just need to get the drops. Dominators for the pendant for backup, you need to get the drops. Sweetwater pendant and all the other pieces, like you need to get enough dineros. So slowly work your way up with the dailies, and then see wherever you have the most backups, wherever it's the lowest risk, that's where you Star Force first, and you basically just looking for 5s and 15s and sending a hard on Star Forcing at this point.
What do you think about CRA top when going for 21? Should I wait for a 30% off, or is a 5 and 15 fine?
I will usually always wait for 5, 10, 15s. But you know, it can depend on what you prefer, but I like 5, 10, 15s for that.
Is there a specific reason for going for 5, 10, 15s when you're going for a higher star, other than it will boom a lot? But like, has there been some math included?
Yeah, there is maths included. The maths are not as strong anymore because of the speed up of Star Force. So the one thing is, like, because 15 to 16 is not guaranteed under 30% off. There is just the chance 15 to 16 is like the one that you do the most out of all the Star Forces, and so therefore there's the biggest chance that you boom from 15 to 16. So if you eliminate that one completely, you eliminate you take the average amount of booms, I think, from like an 8 to like a 2.5. So on average, if you're just a little bit lucky, you'll save way more money, and if you're a little bit unlucky, you will spend only a little bit more money. So what that means is that on average, you're closer to the average in general. So
what do you think about, is there something to transfer to a CRA top? Like, can't you like transfer an overall to the top?
Yeah, you could do it overall to the top, but it's always so. That would be something that people do. Like, let's say people start a cane, right, and they get like a few trill or something to fund it, right? And then the first time they clear CRA, and there's an event, they pick like a 30% off event to go for 22-star Pencilier overall, transfer hammer into their first 21 top, and then keep that for a long-ass time until they build up backups. If you do the maths, it's always more expensive to go for like a lower-level item, transfer it over, and then that's always more expensive than to do the Star Force right on the item itself.
Okay, well, that's good to know.
Yeah. So the only reason you would do it is if the target item is way more rare, and therefore it makes more sense because you would either have to safeguard it and you save on safeguarding, or it's just way harder to get backups. So for level 150 items into Absolab, you do that because you don't want to have to do those weeklies all the time, and right? And safeguarding Absolab is expensive as hell, so you save a lot of money there.
Right. Yeah, and with the 9 million CRA coins, I
exactly, probably you have 1,000 pieces. Yeah, so because the supply is basically the same, it just makes more sense to do it right on the item, especially also because it's already legendary and already flamed, so you can just save those in the trace as well. So there's the added value of that.
Yeah. Sure.
Yeah. So like star forcing, that would probably be the priority, and then the priority after that is wherever you have like the most backup. So, which for your case probably would be dineros at this point if you've been doing that daily.
Yeah, I haven't. I absolutely fucking hate Commercy.
Most people do.
Man up with.
Do you have your Dreadnought built out?
No, I don't.
Okay, that's why you hate it still. If you have your if you do the dailies and you build out and you have your Dreadnought by now, there's the dailies are neutral, okay? You'll never like them, but they're like neutral, okay? You don't hate them anymore because it's like 7 minutes and boom, you get like 40 plus dineros.
Yeah.
So then in a week you just get enough for one backup, and then you'll build up to 2-3k pretty quickly. There's no 5-10-15 event announced at this point, but the thing is just that you want to have backups when you see the event. You don't want to like start working on the backups when you see the event, because then there's a chance you maybe have one by then, and then you can drop like 2 or 3 bill, boom it, and then it's like, okay, cool. And then we wait again.
So just to be clear, so since I have the Transpose Sweetwater pendant, if I boom that, what do I have to replace it with?
Another Sweetwater pendant that you have to buy.
That was what I was thinking about.
It's the item name that determines. The item name determines it.
Yeah, I just got confused because we were talking about Dominator pendants earlier, but
right. The Dominators you want to transfer hammer into the Superior at high Star Force, so you don't have to buy extra Superiors, because those are 700 coins. And they don't drop anymore. So for the so the belt will probably be like up there as well, right? Because you can get a lot of Bing Bean belts very easily, and then just mass send those and see if you can get a 21, and then transfer into a 20 Superior. I probably do that and see if you can get the whole accessory lines, like get all those towards 20. But again, it's not super high priority. If you can kill what you want to kill when you're mobbing, and if you can kill what you want to kill when you're bossing, then it's not a super high priority. If you're like, okay, I want to just save money first for the weapon when I get that, then you just do that first, right? There's no super necessary thing. If you can get your top to 21, like that's probably like above everything. The important thing right now, and then after that it's probably the belt. If you have enough dineros, probably those. By then, hopefully, you have enough kind of treasure rings. You can maybe try some rings a little bit further. Or you have some primals as well. You could work on the Meister rings, right? And then high star forcing rings, because there's definitely some potential to do there, right? I don't know. Has anyone linked you any higher strength, higher star force rings before, just so you can see what the difference is there?
Well, I've seen some, but
that's definitely where some gains are, and because we don't look for any gains in the Absolab, the accessory, like the CRA and the accessory department, is where all of the gains are going to be coming from until you make the full Arcane flip.
Let's say hypothetically, if I wanted to give myself a cushion of meso, so that I'm ready to get my Arcane weapon up and running like immediately when I get it. How much would I need? How much would you go for?
You have all the droplets already, so there's no cost with that part. Star forcing wise, God, is it something like
a lot?
It's most people who get the weapon don't want to wait for an event. They want to like get it immediately once they can get it.
Probably gonna be me.
So that's safeguard 0 to 17. If you do that off event, I wouldn't be surprised if that's like 6 bill or something. Oh yeah, 4.5 to 5.5. Median to average. So like for a cushion, probably like 5.5 to 6, just for the star forcing. If you do the whole thing where you like get it up to 15 during a 30% off, or during a 1+1 like this, Oh, that's really close actually. It's like 1.4, 1.5 average, and the 1+1 is like it's around the same. Wow, it's not even that much higher. Today's a good event to do Tyrants, guys. Sorry, not Tyrants. Tyrants doesn't change today. To do Arcane. And then you were to... Oh, you could do -1 stars. That's interesting. Yeah, then you're looking at sub 3 bill. So you're looking at saving like $1.50 to $2.50 bill just in the star forcing department, which will basically mean that you're paying for your potential if you have the patience to wait for an event.
I don't.
You don't, yeah. And then potential-wise, it's probably like a bill to tier up, and then I'm guessing about like $1.50 to get like an acceptable. Black, legendary, 800, red. Oh yeah, 200. Yeah, it's a little bit more. Yeah. And then let's say like a 1-line attack. I think we could put. Well, I would put a 1-line attack. Let's say a 2-line attack at least, right? It's 1.2. Yeah. Yeah. So like. So if you're not waiting, you want to have a buffer of like 8 probably. So I think that's about what you had in the screenshots, right? Yeah.
Yeah. 4 totems worth about.
Yeah.
No way.
That's not too bad, but you probably have a few more weeks, right, for the Lucid drops until you get there?
Yeah. Well, yeah, certainly.
And that's not too bad. Yeah. Of course, the Emblem and the secondary aren't perfect, but they're pretty damn good compared to everything else, so I would hold on to those for quite a while until...
Secondary, at least, is not going to be moving for a while.
Nope.
But the Emblem I might do something about soonish.
It sucks that they're changing the boss damage line to 30%. Like, well, they're making it so that you can't roll 20% anymore, but they're increasing the chance for the 30%, but they're not changing the existing 20% lines. That's so scuffed. I wish they did that, yeah. Because my secondary on my DA is exactly the same. I rolled it on my first legendary cube on my DA, but then... So I kept that forever, but I would love to see it change to a 30% line as well, because the 20 hurts so much.
For sure, yeah. Yeah, but it was something.
Oh yeah, for sure. I mean, yeah. The earlier you get this, like, the better that is. I mean, it's really good to what you want eventually. Plus, damage is going to go up once the reboot passive changes, so, you know, it's going to fall into place for sure.
Yeah. The Emblem was actually kind of funny. I had 12% attack, 9% strength, and another 9% attack.
Hey, upgrade. 3%.
I was rolling for something better, and I upgraded a bit.
Yeah, it's something.
Double times, and of course, it's gonna be percent stat.
Yeah, well, yeah. If there was a attack line, then you would have been golden.
Yeah, for sure.
Oh, we can't have it all.
Yeah, you can always wish.
Yeah, you can, for sure. You can. A man can dream, they say.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, so like Star Forcing is definitely where the huge gains are, but well, yeah, since the whole switch to Arcane is pretty far away, and you need all of the will drops and all of the Lucid drops, right? The general order I would go in would probably be like C rated 21. Maybe not the hat yet, right? Because you know that goes in tandem with the Arcane gear anyway, so there's no need to really rush that. And then probably try to get the accessories. Try to get all the accessories to 20, depending on where you have the least pushback, like where you have the most backups. So probably the belt first, and then depending on the drops, probably either the earring or kind of treasure ring, or and then maybe the pendant if you get lucky with dominators, and then probably the Sweetwater stuff with the dominator, with the dineros. And then the ring probably lasts, unless you want to go for Meister rings. In general, going for rings in general is probably a good idea. It's probably also at a good point to move away from the event rings and into the Star Force ones. Definitely like the Master SS ring, right, to replace that one. But that one's just placeholder now for the Superior.
Yep.
And get an extra kind of treasure, I guess, up Star Force. Yeah, or start working on the Meisters. I guess like ring-wise, you can definitely make some big gains there, because even a decently Starforced, well, decently, I'm talking about also going for 20 star there, right? But then you're looking at like 50 plus 60 weapon attack per ring, so that'd be a huge increase compared to what you have now as well.
So let's say best in slot, I'd have a superior reinforced Kana ring and what?
Meister probably.
Yeah. Okay.
Yep. If you can get a solid to 20, then that can make it so that you can try the Kana or the reinforced or the Meister. You know, try them to 21, and as long as they keep working, you leave your solid behind. If they fail, then solid gets equipped again, kind of like that.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, there's some long-term rings, but those are harder to get. Like Oz rings, if you get a really good buff, sometimes people just keep those equipped. There's like the Gloom ring, and there's the Glona's Heart, and so there's some crazy ones out there. But yeah, that's what you eventually end up with those for.
What was the last one you said there?
The Glona's Heart.
What's that?
It's Phantom Forest. It's like level 180, and you need to do those dailies and everything to rank it up and stuff.
Can you please say the name again? I didn't catch that even at the second time.
Glona's Heart is what the name is.
Glona's, okay.
Yeah, GLONA apostrophe S.
Yes.
It's one of those special level 180 accessories in the Phantom Forest. Not too many people go for it because you need coins to buy it, and then you need coins for every single Star Force as well. So it takes a lot of dailies and a lot of weeklies to rank up. But since it is 180, eventually it can be really good. But
yeah,
it's an option. A lot of people don't take it. I don't take it, but some people do. Someone in chat, Ruffleboys, got really lucky and he got his to 22 without any booms, so he has a 22 of those. There's only like a handful of those in the whole game, so they're pretty strong.
Yeah. One more question about the Arcane sword upgrading. Since the reality is probably going to be that I'm just going to get the weapon and run with my Abso for a while. Do you think, would it be better to just get all the 4 pieces and start upgrading them slowly, or should I replace like some pieces at some point? What do you think would be the...
You mean switch out some Absol with Arcanes?
Yeah, for example, put in a glove or put in like 3 pieces of Arcane or something. Is there any real reason to do that?
I don't think there's a reason to do that right now. Later, when they switch the set bonuses, then you basically just you switch one whenever you have one completed. And then it's always like a net positive, because they're basically taking all of the boss away from 5 and they're like switching it over 2 and 3 so that it's more evenly distributed over the set bonus. But until that change, you just wait until the whole set, or you do like all or nothing, basically. So that does mean that you can make the pieces when you have enough droplets and enough boss drops, so that if there's an event, you can always, if there's a DMT, you can already start working on tiering it up. If there's, for some reason, if there's flames in an event or flames from a compensation, you can use the flames on it to make sure that you can get a nice flame. Or if there's a Star Force event, then you can already Star Force. And because it's such a long period of time before you have all the pieces, you can be very patient with them and always upgrade during events with them, so you also make it the cheapest that it possibly is over that long period of time.
Yeah. Makes sense again.
Yeah, because there's no rush. Well, I do try to make sense. Hopefully, that's kind of the point. So.
Yeah, you're reaching the point. Let's say that.
Yeah. But you're making you're working on the monster Parker?
You mean the 7-day monster Parker?
Yeah, 7-day monster Parker. Yeah.
Oh no, I haven't.
You haven't. Okay.
It's just missing from.
Yeah. Okay, no problem.
Yeah, but I got.
Yeah, that. Okay, cool. Yeah, using this one. Yeah, hopefully we got a Dark Lords of Darkness, so you can get some big totems. I'm still hoping for one of those as well.
Yeah, man, good dream.
That could be pretty cool.
It's been a really long while, I think.
Yeah. Over
a year.
Last February, I think, or February or March last year. Yeah, was the last time. It's like about a year and a half ago.
Yeah, it's been a while.
Yeah, and then that's because they didn't do it in October before that, and then they brought it back. because people were complaining. But last year, again, they didn't do in October. Not enough people complained, and they didn't bring it back. Complain harder, chat.
Yeah.
Trying to rally the troops every now and then, but.
Well, yeah. How about for the replacing the Afterlands totems without Dark Lords of Darkness? Do you run like the Shanghai totems?
Hell no, no, I don't have time for any of that stuff. There's so much other stuff to focus on, and like making money and progressing your account in general. That's so low on the list for me. If you really like doing it, then go for it. But for me, that's so far on the list.
Yeah, no way. And it's probably gonna be such a minuscule upgrade either way.
Yeah, I think at this point, because of the changes with the boss crystals and everything, maybe like working on some side characters for bossing mules and stuff like that for the general income for your account is probably better value than min-maxing on your totems to try to get like 3 more stat and 2 more attack that you have to refresh every month, something like that.
Yeah. Cool.
You know why they didn't bring it back? I don't know either. I mean, I guess they found that it didn't fit in their schedule, but if people don't complain, then they'll just like, oh, people don't miss it that much anyway, so I guess we're good in not throwing it out there. But if people complain a lot, they'll be like, oh shit, okay. Then I believe they'll do their best to add it, but you know. There's not enough pressure from you guys. Time to become a Karen, exactly. All right. Anything else you were thinking about? I mean, I guess Oz maybe is a thing to start thinking about at some point.
Yeah,
if it's something you like.
Well, I haven't really run it that much. I didn't have the big picture down because you gotta know the specific things from each floor and this stuff.
Yeah, there's guides and everything. Yeah, I don't know the details.
Yeah, exactly. I was just kind of, I guess, afraid before, but yeah, I haven't for some reason just gotten up to it. I should, but I haven't done it.
Yeah, the thing is, if you do get lucky early on and you get a good Oz ring, maybe get like an RR3 or something, like not, something crazy insane, but like still really, really good. That could also take pressure off of like one of your ring slots, and then you can bypass spending that money as well and just like fast track the other stuff a little bit more.
Right. Yeah. Yeah, that's probably just gonna be me reading a guide and starting it, nothing else.
Yeah, I think everything. Yeah, I think that's how everyone goes. Zolhead says he reached floor 21 after 1 day of learning. Yeah, that's pretty good, man. Yeah, I think what I did is when I have spare totems, like at the end of the month, and I don't feel like grinding training, I just use the totems in there, so it speeds up the Tower of Oz as well, and I don't feel and the totems don't disappear at the end of the month. It's like a good, good happy medium. I don't know if you have a lot of totems left over at the end of the month, though.
I do. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
I'm playing pretty infrequently at the moment, or well, have been for a while, but. I rarely max out on totems. Okay.
Yeah, hopefully with some drops and with some nice boss runs every week, it gives you a little bit of fresh energy to enjoy the game. Plus, AK Legion is going to be real good, dude.
Yeah, for sure. But I think the biggest thing is that I got up to the harder, or well, let's not say harder bosses, but I was kind of stuck at Lomian for quite a while because I had some kind of mentality of soloing the game from start to finish, but turns out Lucid is not quite so viable at the moment. That was actually another thing that I was supposed to ask, because I saw this like 35k chat on your stream telling you that he can solo normal Lucid. And I'm just wondering, like, am I just absolute dogshit garbage in the game, or why do I not even have a chance?
Have you tried it solo?
For people? Yeah, is it normal for people to solo it with 35k?
It's really a kit. It's a huge kit check that early on. If you do so many lines all over the place, and you can just kill the. You can basically kill all the golems very quickly because of the amount of lines you can put out through the map. Then that makes your class able to do normal Lucid just more comfortably, because the time, you have a long time to do that boss. half an hour
Yeah.
with guild skills and everything, you can put out a lot of damage. You as well, like with your stat, you have the damage to kill it. The problem is, like, if you get unlucky with the golems, or you can't kill the golems quickly, you're just gonna either die out in phase 1, or phase 1 is gonna take like 18 minutes or something, and you'll have 2 or 3 lives left, and then you won't get through phase 2 fast enough. You'll have to get through all the Tohos, and just a little bit of bad luck, and you won't make it. That's basically it.
The problem.
Yeah.
At the moment, I'm just dying out on phase 1 when I get overrun by the golems, and then I get teleported right near them or some stupid shit like that.
Of course, yeah. And the more golems there are, the more likely your teleport is into a golem, or like a sandwich between two and you can't move, and then the dragon comes by. Yeah. So even if you know exactly what you need to do, there's too much RNG there that stops you. Once the change comes that the golems take normal damage, which I think that's coming with the August update. It could be in September or October, but soonish we'll see the change that for easy and normal, the golems will start taking normal damage, like in hard. It's very possible that a lot more... it will be the case that a lot more characters will be able to clear easy solo and be able to clear normal solo, and you might be one of those if you're if at this point. I think is very likely, because you do put out a decent amount of lines with Infinity Blade, and with, you know, always the swords flying around you. You do hit the golems quite a bit. I tried easy solo on my Adele a little bit ago, and I did get into phase 2, but, you know, kind of what I just said happened. Like, you die a little bit too much in phase 1, and then you end up in phase 2 with like 2 or 3 lives, and it's not really, you know, not really worth your time. I wasn't 100% prepped. I don't think I had the guild skills and everything, blah, blah. Like, it could have been a little bit stronger. But I think with that change, I'm pretty sure that you'll be able to do it as well. So it's just a kit thing, basically.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, that change makes so much sense, because, you know, okay, guys.
Yeah, it's too big of a barrier now.
Here's the hardest difficulty of the boss that we have, which, for that reason, we made phase 1 easier.
Yeah.
Like, what?
Yeah, and the other change is also that's coming is with the bombs, right? Did you see that?
No.
So if you, right now, if you're solo and there's a bomb, you're just kind of fucked. Like, you have to iframe it. If you don't have your iframe up, you just explode. Or you have to reduce the damage by at least, what is it, like 80% or something to live, or 66.666% or something to live.
Yeah.
What's going to happen now with Lucid is that if there is a bomb, there will be a little portal that shows up. And the portal, if you make sure that you get near that little portal when it blows up, it'll act as if there's another person near you taking 50% of the damage.
Right. Yeah. That's another weird thing.
So for soloing, that'll make it a lot easier. If there's 2 people and a portal, it'll still act like 2. Like, it won't go down to 3, but it'll just be for soloing and if you're in a pinch.
By the way, I feel like the bombs are like highly inaccurate in when it goes through iframe and when it doesn't.
Yeah. It'll be like 3, 2, 1, 0.
Yeah, but I mean,
sometimes
I keep on dying to bombs sometimes, because I have a long ass iframe on Adele. Sometimes I die to them, sometimes I don't, and I just can't figure out why the fuck that's happening.
Well, because so you mean with either guard, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So with either guard, and that's what I ran into with the easy runs as well, is that the most reliable way to not die from the bombs is by using Infinity Blade, and Either Guard is like a 50-50, or maybe even like a 30-70 or something, because Either Guard gives you like a reduced incoming damage, which if you hit it on the reduced incoming damage, you still die, because it doesn't reduce enough of the bomb damage. It's still more than 100% of your HP. You have to hit it, you know, like you have to hit something in the early window to turn it into a longer iframe, right? Otherwise, it's just a reduced incoming damage skill. So they are changing the Adele skill in the future.
Right, I didn't actually even think about that.
Yeah. So if you, and that's because we have the ping thing. That's why, like, it says, that's why I was saying, like, sometimes it goes 3, 2, 1, boom, and sometimes it goes 3, 2, 1, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, boom. And then it's like, you miss that window, so then it becomes reduced damage, and that's not enough, and then you still die. So that's what, that's why the nerf on the Either Guard is actually going to be a buff for this situation on Adele, because it's always going to immune the first hit now. Which means that if you don't get hit by anything else, even if the bomb is 2 seconds late, you're still going to immune the bomb. But you won't have the longer iframe after, so you won't be able to use it to like tank the dragon or something. That's not going to be as easy of a thing anymore. So in one situation a nerf, other situation a buff, depending on what you're looking for, might be, you know, a change that isn't extremely negative as much as...
Yeah.
But yeah, that delay is
Sure.
yeah. That's what I had on my easy run as well. It's like, well, I pressed the button and it didn't go off, so I guess I'm dead. Yeah.
Bill went boom.
Yep. Just a big delay.
Sure.
It just fucks with you. Yeah.
Yeah. But that's what you gotta live with.
Yeah, that changed to be really good. And then, but the other thing is also like clearing normal solo is also kind of, I don't know, it's kind of a flex, and then that's it. Because if you're clearing hard, I mean, they share clears anyway. So why would you ever clear normal if you can have a chance of an arcane drop instead? You know?
Yeah. Well, obviously not. Just wanted to check because the jet kind of dropped it so casually. Like, yeah, well, I'm soloing Lucid normal, and I was wondering like, what the fuck else are you soloing?
Yeah, there were some comments in the YouTube video as well where people were like, "What the fuck?" Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, jets have so little. Okay, at least give them that.
Yeah. Yeah.
People already shit on them for everything.
That's
so
fair, I think.
yeah. Like Adele has everything else, okay? Let Jet have that one.
At one spotlight.
Exactly. Okay, is there anything else I can do for you today?
I think I'm pretty much set. I got all the confirmations, so to say, that I was kind of looking for. But
okay, I must say though, that 0.5% that you're missing in the critical damage is making your critical damage be at 68.5. And I have to say, as a 69 lover, I have to say, that is something that has to be fixed. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, the next thing that I'm doing is logging in.
Okay. If you take anything away from this, okay, get the 69. That is my last advice I'll give you.
I got you, man.
Okay.
I got you.
Okay. But yeah, good luck with normal will and hard will. It's gonna be rough in the beginning, but if your party is dedicated and they know what they're doing with hard lucid, they'll get the hang of it. And like the first 2 to 3 runs is probably gonna be yikes for the phase 2. One person is gonna take a little bit longer to get the hang of it, and the whole party will be, and then it'll just be better practice for the rest of the party to stay alive. And then by like run 4 or 5, it'll be just. It's all going to be about timing your burst with the party to make sure that you can get through phase 1 efficiently, because of the window. Like the first one is 1 minute and 10 seconds, and then it's 2 minutes, 2 minutes, 2 minutes, 2 minutes. So you want to make sure that you look at your you do like 2 tests, 1 test, 2 tests, something like that. That's generally what people do, right? 2, 1, 2. So that the first time you have like 3 minutes and 10 seconds. Then you have 2 minutes, then you have 4 minutes, because then after those 4 minutes, all of the cooldowns will be back for phase 2, so you can immediately start popping all the big skills and the domains and everything for phase 2. That's usually how you do it in the beginning, and then the stronger you get, the more you'll get some wiggle room and be able to speed it up a little bit. That's usually how you start.
Cool. Yeah.
All right. Good luck, dude. And
thanks, man.
Yeah, you're welcome. And I'll see you around in chat and everything.
Yeah, gotta say, it was again a huge pleasure, and I gotta say, these progressions are really good for kind of like getting you centered back into the game. That's something that it makes happen, at least for me.
Okay.
But yeah, thanks a bunch, man.
Yeah, no problem. And I'll see you around. Thank you.
Yeah, thanks.
Okay, bye-bye. Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye. All right. Yeah, sometimes you can kind of lose your bearings, lose the priorities. But you know, once you know more about the game, if I just say like, oh, you need backups here, then you're like, okay, I need to work on this daily. Okay, this daily is a little bit more important. This other daily didn't get mentioned at all, so I can probably drop this one, right? Because it is chore story after a while. It is daily story after a while. So reprioritizing which dailies are the most important and which dailies can, you know, be skipped sometimes, and it's not all that important. The bomb is 5 seconds, but next one do that feels weird, man. And now the 0 is 1 second. Well, usually it starts with 3, and then it goes 3, 2, 1, 0, and then it blows up. But sometimes it's on 0 for longer than it takes to get to 0, and you're just sitting there waiting on 0 for multiple seconds. And then if you have a either guard where the time window is so narrow to be able to turn it into an iframe, if you just don't hit that exact time frame, you just get blown the fuck up. And then that becomes unreliable. I had the same thing. And then when you rebomb, the rebomb usually starts at 10 seconds. But sometimes bombs actually start on 2 or 1 seconds. Sometimes you'll have like bombs and you just instantly get nuked. That's happened before on runs as well. If you do enough of these bosses, you'll see all of it. I think we had an Ursus run once where it was like bombs, bam, and people just instantly got splatted. There was just nothing. There was just nothing to do. It was like, oh, okay. I guess this run is we just write this one off. You just forget about it and move on to the next one, you know? But yes, if you like this session and you're in a similar situation, I hope you also start working on normal will and hard will with your party. Just drag them along, nudge them a little bit. Hard Lucid, hard will together. Oil it up. We're not going to do that because this is a good Christian progression stream. Okay, so yeah, if you want one of these sessions as well, or you have data for me in forms of battle analyses, monster skill per hour, or training videos, or you want to join the EU or the NA Scardor Guild and join us in, you know, just hanging out, doing stuff together, getting positive reinforcements, encouragement, and finding bossing parties and dailies parties and all that stuff that's interesting to you. Links for all of that are in the description of the video. And thanks for watching. And I'll see you on the next one, right? Peace. Or catch me live on Twitch. I stream there a lot, okay? A lot of people are like, hey, you stream on Twitch. Like, yeah, that's the main thing I do. But still, most people find me through YouTube. So thank you if you find me through YouTube. And come check out the live stream sometime. Twitch.tv/Scardor.